Hello and good morning. Here's today's Trading Safely update. Third one so far. Um, Point to make really is if there's not a lot going on, we try not to say too much. So the channels are pretty quiet. Um, what we're Answers we're taking from clients and customers calms down. And yesterday was a very good example of that. Really wasn't a great deal going on. Um, no signals of note that we're particularly interested in, so we don't say too much. So what I am going to do is just a semi-educational piece on this stock called VSTM, and there was a piece that I wrote for T-Buddy back in July, and if you want to read that, you can just go to my T-Buddy, go to the search, and then type in VSTM and it will come up with that story. And this will give you some understanding of some of our methods about why this stock, of which obviously there's thousands, we've only actually got positions in three, about how less is more, and so things have to really set themselves up really well before we're ever really interested in them. So returning to the chart, this was the day of the signal, and it's called a power play buy. It's that green square. You can see that there's been a couple in the previous past, but they weren't in the correct setup, and this one was, and I'm just going to quickly explain why. The article will go into it in more depth. What happened is we broke out, and we've got this minor red line which is just a daily resistance, and if you note, the weekly and the blue line, the weekly and the monthly line, are actually below price, so they're acting as supports. And this study called Splits, or called Time Area for people who use the Technician platform and our software, was actually showing a very bullish setup. And what you have here, if I spread this out a little bit, is the principle of time catching up price. So the red line is yearly resistance, and then we have brown, which is semi-annual, pink, which is quarterly, and then we have blue, that is monthly. The yellow and the green are just weekly and green, are just weekly and daily, and they're just referencing the price for us. But what we're really interested in is when some of these time frames begin to step up, having previously been stepping down. So the blue monthly line had been stepping up for a considerable period of time. Then the pink quarterly had stepped up in the end of March, and then finally, just at the end of June, we had the quarterly. So just at the end of June there, sorry, my dog just barked. We had the quarterly and the semi-annual step up, so this is creating support and telling us that the trend is up. So then, when we had the power play buy, it was above the final resistance, which was only minor in a daily, and told us that we were getting a breakout. Now it was biotech. Price then surged the following day, and it turned out that what had happened was they'd done a presentation to institutional investors who liked what they saw and got involved. Now, on the day of the power play buy, we had an expansion of range, but volume wasn't particularly high. But then we can see the following day on the breakout, volume was much, much higher. And then we've drifted back. It's news driven, it's a biotech. And then yesterday, massive volume. Obviously, some people have been involved in the more recent past, took some profits, price gapped higher. And the reason for that was they have a drug that's in a phase 3 trial. Done a lot of work in biotech over the years. As far as I'm concerned, the sweet spot of any biotech stock is between phase 2 and phase 3. That's where much more interest can occur, and major trends can start. It reached a good point in its phase 3 testing and is superior to, from what I can find, the only existing drug that's in the same space, which is called ofatumumab, owned by Novartis, who paid hundreds of millions of dollars for that in a partial payment to take that off GlaxoSmithKline. So price has moved up. Not surprising, people took it as a bit of a Brucey bonus and took some profits. What we're interested in is where it comes back down to. So we have a support of 467, a originally that was a resistance when I wrote the report, so there's more space opened up. So we're looking at 467 as a support, and then we also look at the short-term chart, so just on the 60-minute, and the breakout point, not surprisingly, so 410 down to that half-day support of 388. So we haven't taken any action. We took 25% profits at 370 the day after the buy signal, as it turned out, because we didn't really know why it had rallied and decided to take some partial profits. But we've kept the rest of the position since then. No reason to change that. What should happen over the next week or so is more analysis will come out, and then we'll have a better idea of what the fundamental story is behind it. The only other real thing of note yesterday was dollar CAD, or the Canadian dollar. There was a statement from their central bank. I'm assuming it was hawkish, otherwise the Canadian dollar wouldn't have gone up. So we broke the final support, looking at 121.39, and then also if we bounce back up to 123.40. And if we have a quick look at the daily chart, this monthly support, very, very important. You can see back at the end of July, another one of those green squares, power play buy at that support point. We bounced. One of our other combination of studies called UFO and time continuation, then put the move back down again. We then respected that support point again, but it's nowhere near as powerful the second time it gets there, and now you can see that we've broken down. Okay, that's it for today.